Firstly, I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time in this cold weather to come here, and learn entrepreneurship and how you can go far in life with just the simple words of starting. So today we have a panel and we'll be discussing the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. And I know that in most cases you only see people who are in entrepreneurship driving nice cars, living in nice houses, and we don't know what it actually takes to reach that level. So today we're going to look at the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. And so my first question will be, when the business is going well, do you guys ever think that it might fail?
Okay, let me just start by greeting everyone. Hi everyone, greetings to everyone here. My name is Muzgaise Nkosi. I'm also known as Muzgaise. I'm also known as Muzga Muma, which is what made the mistake. And then I'm the founder of East Movers Holdings, which is a holdings company which has 5 subsidiaries, mainly on the media, finance, and business, fashion, sports, and merchandising. And then I'm representing the finance and business today. And going to your question, Mr. Siru, you said, do we ever think that our businesses are going to fail? No, I don't think that you should think that, because if you frame your thoughts like that, it's going to lead to that. So when you think you're facing a hard situation, you should just take it as a hard situation, or even use better words, it's a challenging situation. And then when it comes to failure, you should not really define it as failure. There's people who say failure is first time attempt in progress. So there's things like that, So it's never about failure for me. It's about the number of attempts you give to it.
Greetings to all. My name is Labuhan Sharma. I'm the founder of African Group of Companies in South. I'm the founder of Mushoma Foundation. I'm the founder of African Clinic, by the way. Again, I'm the founder of Labuhan, the steady manufacturer, where we manufacture the pharmaceuticals product. According to the question of my sister, I would like to say, no, actually. First of all, I can say on my side, according to the way I plan things in business-wise, I categorize according to the terms of life. So we start from the short term, the medium term, and the long term. And then I take this, again, actually, I do that as A1, A2, A3, and then the original A. So, of course, as you know, the business have the high, the ups and downs. So you must always be prepared for that. You can win, you can fail. So it's between win and lose. So for you not to fail, actually. So I will say for the money that you have in the original A, so you must start to invest that money in the A3. So when the plans in the original A starting to fail, you go to the A3 to balance the A1 and A2 and the original A. So I don't know if I'm clear. Do you get my point? Okay, A1, A2, and A3. So, for example, if I say my business makes 100,000 a month, so in that 100,000, I have to divide it. So, for example, that in that 30,000 kVA in the original A, and then I take another 30,000 kVA in the A3 for the investment. So that A3, when I invest with another 30,000, for it to already fail in A, original A, you go A1. If already A1, you fail, go A2. If you fail A2, I make sure that A3 you pass. For the reason being that A3 pass, I go invest, I go A2 and A1. So now I have to work hard to make sure that I'm going back to original A. So, nothing.
Alright, the Macheroni, good morning. Sinalanga Litribani Mutau, I go by the name Mr. T. I'm a math tutor. I started Golden Mines, which was an IT company. We started off, the main idea was to be an app development company, Galaxy, and then we had to change quickly and adapt to the situation in Galaxy, so we introduced an internet cafe that was just for our cash flow, and then just have walk-ins and educating people on what is going on in the IT sector. And then we managed to get some clients and educate people, so we kind of pretty much stable on that. And just like many of you, I'm not too heavy on the drinks, so my Saturdays are pretty much quiet, and because of that, I started off my tutoring company, which was a tutoring company, and then it was something that I never knew that I was very good at math, but it just came in as learners came in for the assignments and all that stuff, and I found myself helping them, and that became another stream of income. Now, that helped me a lot when COVID lockdown came in and we couldn't do much in the internet cafe space, in the walk-ins. So that tutoring helped me because now we had parents coming in, calling me to say, hey, please help out. They are regressing. So then that was what helped me to survive that failure or that knock on the IT side of life. And then once the lockdown was lifted, now I had two things that I was running, and I'm finding the tutoring side more profitable, more classy, and then the more sophisticated side, your IT, is something you but yeah, that is one way that we managed to survive the failures. But failure happens. When lockdown happens, they will loot, they will burn your store down, and you never know what will happen. But the main idea is to also pray and believe that you will stand up and you will continue on your journey like back to again. Sure.
Thank you so much for the lovely answers. Because actually, I was going through Mr. T's point of saying that we all know how COVID impacted quite a lot of businesses not being able to operate, right? Obviously, that we in that space, we then had to move, with the move. I mean, Usis was talking about 4R, technology, Teams, online, WhatsApp. I mean, obviously, if you tutor a person, you can always video call WhatsApp and then be able to carry your lessons. So my next question was, how do you define success, and how long did it take for you to find it? I think I'll give it to Bufano.
Dimana, how are you guys doing? Sorry that I'm late, but I'm glad I could make it and come speak with such a lovely audience. And I'm honored to be here. What I do is that I'm humble enough to serve at a company called the Moloi Business Leadership Firm, and what we do is that we're basically a consulting agency, and we help entrepreneurs like yourself grow, scale, and become profitable in your businesses. We've been in this space for 4 years right now, and throughout that journey, I've personally achieved so much things. And to go back to Mrs. Siwa's question, how do we define success, right? I think for me, success, we try to quantify it in long term to say that, or make it a destination to say that when I buy a Benz or when I buy my house, I've succeeded, right? But for me, how I define success is if you are showing up every day and making those improvements and you're getting those daily wins, for me, it's success. Success is when you show up like the person you want to be today. We tend to make success a future thing, so that, okay, when I get to the particular destination. But if you can embody the habits, the mindsets, the beliefs right now, you're already successful. You're just waiting for time to catch up with you. Some of the things I've achieved, I wanted to achieve it at a particular time. Like, let's say I want to do this in 2 years, or I want to do this in a year. But sometimes it takes 5 years. And when you achieve it after that 5 year, it doesn't mean that all these, every day when you were showing up, you were not successful. It's just that time caught up with you. Took 5 years, took 3 years, but time just caught up with your vision, your mission, and everything you were doing. I like to make an example about this of success with graduation. I'm about to graduate next year for my qualifications of business management. But will I be successful when I qualify when I graduate on the day? Or was I successful every time I was showing up for my qualification? Was I successful every time I was waking up every day choosing to go to school? I was successful within that day. I just get recognized on the day when I get graduated. But I was a success every time I chose up to show up to school. So success is done in the daily things. So for me, to answer the question, how do you define success? What are you doing today that's leading you to your ultimate version? Yeah.
Thank you so much for the question. So to just add on what Kufa was saying, I remember when I started the company, it was, tough, which is going to my question to say, why is it important to start? Letting go of the fear and, right? So in the midst of it all, I remember I started in 2019. It was just so fearful. I was doubting myself and thinking, who am I to be called director? Oh, is there even an existing word for a young person, right? And then now to think that we have an office space with one of the biggest law firms in Africa, ENS Africa, right? I'm just encouraging you guys to say, no matter what, no matter the odds, no matter how fearful you think it is to start. Ne? So I'm just going to the panelists now to say, why is it important to let go of fear and to actually say, I'm starting, and the fruit or the benefits of actually starting despite all the odds that you face in the journey of entrepreneurship. I think I'll take it to Lego because he has quite a lot of businesses, and I'm sure he can give us quite a good answer.
Again, to answer the question, this start from the mind, the mindset that you implement in. So remember, Wile Abulela Garutomile business in 2019, right? She was quite nervous, or ish, and direction, other stuff. That ish is the one that will lead a person to failure. You get my point? So for on my side, when I started the African group of companies and clubs, I remember I didn't have a lot of support. Even I think it was last month, when I was asking about the rental space and other stuff. Yeah, I wanted to open another pharmacy, by the way. So it was quite challenging without having support, having the funds. You're coming from a rural area. Who are you like? Over there with this company. So take it away like ish, like in a report man. But I want to start a business from Buzara. Just check the CV. This somewhere over truck driver. This guy is about to register a company and then become a Bolt driver. Bolt driver, Karila, works for almost nothing, Sakarano. So I have to make sure that this company really does well. So I woke up in the morning, to the different companies. So I approached them, the CEO, meeting. Okay, aware up, I have to come with another strategy. So how can I succeed in this one? So Kaduna first, Karno, the best way to start is cooperate online. Kakena online, online. Kumulchula started to sell African clinic, Dilaka, male sexual health. So Kumulchu get male sexual health online. This thing is really working. So I am for the profit of I think it was plus minus 20,000. So on that one I said, okay, other companies are working the ideas I can implement on that. I went to the schools, rural areas, I approached them for you gotta supply like this and this. One reject, or what? A lot of them they rejected me. Up until I came up with an idea, I can build a lab. Okay, now I'm just revealing that I built a lab to my high school where I did grade 12. Where I did lab. Yeah, the science, but why the science and other stuff and library. So yeah, that is how I overcome that. Thank you.
I think I'm going to direct the question to Mr. T since he's within the IT solution. How important do you think it is for us to move with time? Like for example, you know now how everything is just digital, online, your e-commerce, your drop shipping, your like the online space, and how important do you think it is to move with time?
All right, thank you for that question. Just like the previous speakers before me, I'm old school as well. As much as we in IT, I'm old school. It took the lockdown for me to really embrace the full mind of the IT or of social media as well. How important it is, that is the new currency. That is how you are going to survive if you are going to be running anything, any business, you have to. It is very important. My biggest clients in the learning space was in 2020 during the lockdown. What happened is that this white lady just tweeted something and she was frustrated with helping the child with maths, and everyone on Twitter, back then it was Twitter, was just laughing and just throwing in your normal Twitter comments. But what I saw was an opportunity. I said, well, ma'am, you don't have to. She wanted to prostitute her child like that in a joyful way, right? And everyone was just laughing around that part. But I said, you don't have to. Just call Mr. T and we'll sort you out. And I tell you, in the next 20 minutes, she was inboxing me or like DMing me and we exchanged numbers. She called me, and then that was the beginning of a very long-lasting relationship. The child was in grade 9 in 2020, and we are still running it. And that gave me access to her complex. She lives in Fourways. So in that complex, I'm the main person. So that is what technology did for me. Yes.
Just to follow up on Mr. T's response and the question that was asked, why is technology important right now? I think technology is the most important tool we have access to in the 21st century. Things that we can do right now is just take people 3 months to 4 weeks to get done. We can get done in a day. And if the time is mine, that means like this is the biggest wealth transfer based on the technology we have. You can speed up process, you can do things quicker than you could 4 years ago. So what's the excuse really now? Why are you not doing things? If you have things like ChatGPT where you can create an event, ask it to create a conceptual event, it can give you an idea, you can ask it to create a post, that can do a poster for you. Why are we not executing more, guys? Because now we have no more excuses for why we're not doing things. Anyone can start a business if you have ChatGPT and Google. You can ask literally anything you want to know. It's just now, it's about how you apply your mind to the technology. Hence why they call these things apps. It's about how you apply yourself on these tools to get the results that you need to get to move forward, guys. So technology is a set of tools, guys. We need to be learning as much as possible about it. Give yourself the opportunity to learn about AI. You cannot be ignorant, guys. There are people today, there are people in this room who probably don't even know what ChatGPT is. Who probably haven't used it. Oh, who's this AI thing, it's 2025. Like, it's 2025, guys. In 5 years, it's 2030, and we haven't still got a grasp on AI and technology. We have to change our ways. We have to conscientize ourselves about these tools because it can literally change our lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susanna. But to also add, as much as AI, ChatGPT is the we must also remember that we're humans, you know. So as much as we're using those tools to help us, you know, we're obviously saving time but you know, there must also be a human element, you know, to whatever that you're doing. For example, you can't submit an AI-generated assignment at a university. It will be 100% plagiarism, right? So as much as AI, ChatGPT is there, but also put a human element to it. As much as robots are coming but also we mustn't, you know, be lazy to do things as well. But you know, coming to that aspect of AI, ChatGPT having to write your assignment or maybe your slides and things like that, right? There must also be human elements in whatever that you're doing, because at the end of the day, we are humans, and humans are the ones to make decisions at the end of the day, right? So my next question will be directed to Muzi. In finance and right? How do you then convince people to trust you with their money? I mean, we are running businesses, right? And there's competition, and you know, there are quite a lot of people running businesses, same business as you, and right? So then, what is the difference? Why mustn't I give my money to Kufano or whoever who's in finance here and give it to you? You know.
Okay. I just got intrigued by what you were speaking about with the AI. Guys, we should not make AI our enemy. You said you can't just submit your assignment being done by AI only. You actually can, because you can use an AI app which detects that it was used by AI, so it can actually cover your tracks for using AI. So guys, you mustn't be short-sighted with this, and let's not make it our example. Because I've got a buddy who uses AI to make other people's assignments and is actually profiting from that. No, I'm not exposing. I'm sharing information, guys. I'm just sharing information. They definitely getting good marks.
Hence I was saying, as much as AI can generate an assignment, but there must be a human element, right? As much as there is an AI app to detect, but you also have to change humans then.
Okay, so there's also an AI which uses referencing for you, however. So let me just answer a question for you. Let me just answer a question for you. So when it comes to your question, how do people give you finance? So business is credibility, business is trust, business is evidence. As the brothers who were speaking there earlier on, who were saying, if I give you 5 million and I see that you're flashing, I'm not going to give you my money. So like no one is going to give you their money before they see that you're trustworthy, you have character, and they've seen your passport. Evidence is key to everything. This is why when someone's going to ask you something, what have you done before? So even if I'm going to ask you to give you my money or your money, you have to see my track record, and you have to see how much I've been turning over, how much I've been making. So yes, to answer that, it's credibility, trust, and showing yourself in business. Otherwise, no one is going to give you anything.
I'm not going to get into the whole ChatGPT and stuff, but I will caution and say, still, that is just for productivity. That is just for productivity, and you still have to overlook. You must be the final person. All right. We had a case here. Somebody, I can't remember the name, but they shared like that somebody actually lost their job because they used AI. They used AI in law. They generated something and submitted it, and AI pulled information that was not related to the South African law. So, and they got exposed, and then they got disbarred. So that, I would say, yeah, use it, don't use it. But what I wanted to add on from what was shared it is very important, character and